All right. I think everybody was surprised how bad RG3 looked and how he just didn't seem to be ready to play. He looked like he didn't have a lot of confidence in his leg strength. Where is he right now, and what's going on with the relationship with RG3 and his head coach?
Well, I actually thought that he got crisper a lot sooner than I thought. I thought it would take him a few weeks. No matter what you do, spring training in baseball, if you're getting ready for a fight and just your first week of sparring, in football, it's going to take you a while to get crisp. I thought it would take him a few games to convince himself mentally to step up in certain ways, put some pressure on the leg. He and I talked a couple of times leading into this, and he said, look, I've already been through it. Because he's been through it, he thought he'd be able to come back a little bit faster than most people, and I thought he did. He in the second half, I think everybody just assumed, well, he's going to be the same old RG3, and that was really an ignorant way to look at this thing. You had to look at it and say, this guy's had absolutely no real-time work. It's going to take him a few weeks, just like it would anybody in any other sport. Will he be the same in the first, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? No, he's not going to be the same. But I actually, in the second half, I thought he was way better than I ever expected him to be. You just got to manage your expectations with him.
All right. A lot of the talk everywhere in training camps this year was about the Eagles and what the guys in the league thought the Eagles would and wouldn't be able to do. After game one, after a very impressive first half, what's the buzz in the league? Do they think they were surprised how efficient they were? What was the buzz about the Eagles after their game?
People were extremely surprised around the NFL. Everybody had heard about it. They saw it in college, but there was definitely a sense of surprise at how he was able to equate it on this level with NFL veterans. I tell you what, teams need to learn real fast how to fake injuries on defense real quickly when you go against him, because they're going to need to slow him down. As the season goes on, you get in better shape. And you saw even the Eagles. I mean, LaShawn McCoy got his hands on his hips, and Michael Vick, when I was there, said, Jay, I have never run so much in my life. Wait till you see this thing. He has us running constantly, just nonstop. And Vic put on a good 15 pounds of muscle. The big question is, and this is what everybody's saying, look, we'd love to do this, but is it going to hold up? Or is the running back, is the quarterback going to hold up? And that's why, even though it's a copycat league, people are looking and saying, look, I'm not so sure our personnel can do something like this.
What's the word with – what do you know about Sanchez here? A lot of people saying they know what his injury is, except Sanchez has refuted and called people who have talked about his injuries reckless. They say no one knows exactly. Now you're hearing he's healing quicker and that it might not be as serious. Do you have a handle on what his injury really is?
Yeah, in fact, this weekend on Fox NFL Sunday, I said, look, there was a fear in there that it's a torn labrum, plus he dislocated his shoulder. You could actually see when he's on the ground and the doctors are dealing with him, you see him suddenly wince in pain. That's because they popped it back in. And it's called a shoulder subluxation. You can't really put him back out there if that shoulder's not stable, if it's going to pop in and out. Now, the torn labrum, it's a partially torn labrum. He had previously had one on the other shoulder. He thought he felt something similar in this one, and it was a similar thing. But here's the big thing. When you talk to any doctor, they will tell you, you avoid surgery on your shoulder. You don't cut your shoulder on your throwing shoulder unless it's absolutely 1,000,000% necessary. Because anytime you cut your throwing shoulder, you're going to come back and it's not going to be the same. Something's going to be off. So Sanchez and I, we've been in contact throughout all this. And when the story broke the other night, really it was interesting because all along he's maintained the same thing. Unless you absolutely have to get this shoulder surgery, you don't do it. You're not going to be the same guy. He's not even supposed to go back for another opinion on it just to see how it's doing for 2 or 3 weeks. So, originally it was reported he's having surgery here in the next 2 or 3 days. He was up in Foxborough. Nothing has changed except Andrews confirmed, you got a partially torn labrum in there. Nothing else has changed. I'll tell you this, Andrews and the other doctors, he's met with a couple doctors, they've all said, no, you're you're ahead of schedule, you're fine. You keep rehabbing this thing, and they yanked it and pulled it and twisted it every which way that it's possible. But he's going to do whatever he can to make sure that he doesn't need surgery. Because, like I said, that really is the rule of thumb. Will he need surgery at one point? Possibly. At this point, they're really leaning against it, but possibly if it doesn't continue to strengthen with the rehab.
All right. The Saints withstood Atlanta. Could have easily gone the other way. They were thrown into the end zone at the end of the game. Looked to me to be two very evenly matched teams. Where are the Saints, especially defensively, where are they now that they're back into stability this year? Where are the Saints right now?
You know, as I just talked about the Lions, that certain things are okay. Hey, they're just okay, right? Certain mistakes. Well, Sean Payton, when he got together with Rob Ryan, it was the other way. Hey, Rob, certain things here just are not acceptable. Okay, these penalties for too many guys on the field, or you're jumping this or jumping. Hey, that just doesn't fly over here. It's not acceptable. Let's pare down what we do, okay? And you don't need a million plays. And Rob had said to me, Jay, if I can't make it work with Sean Payton, I'll be out of the league.